Hello there, and welcome to Clarify and Focus Your Vibration. And this is the next in the series of Clarify and Focus Your Vibration. So thank you for joining me, and you'll be beginning to see that it's a process and it's a practice, and it is very much about a day in, day out, because we have moment by moment by moment by moments happening all of the time. And so for you right now, just inviting you to connect in with yourself. So when I'm saying connect in with yourself, just find out where you are. Where are you? Have you been off in thought somewhere else? Have you been having fuzzy things? Or is this exactly what is going to highlight your already existing clarity? Because essentially we already are incredibly clear and incredibly focused. Often it's just, what are we incredibly clear and incredibly focused about? So now anything, you see, the body, mind, being all works and functions together. Even if we feel at the moment as though it's not, it's simply a feedback mechanism to it's not feeling good according to who you really are. According to who you really are, not what we think we are or the life experience that we think that we're having. The mind has this polarization. It polarizes often, almost always, in order to have the duality of the perception of good and bad. Now, I'm also using the word good, so something feels good, it feels in alignment with who you really are. And then if it's feeling out of alignment or fuzzy or murky or uncomfortable in some way, frustrating, might pull some different emotional factors in, then that's something you're investigating, which is the, oh, this is not me. And sometimes we get very caught up in that process. So I don't know about you, but I certainly know for myself that there's been times where I've believed a certain way of moving around on the planet has been very unuseful for me. It doesn't make it wrong, because there's always been gifts and learnings inside of it. Today we're going to play a little bit with the underlying vibration that is sitting often in full awareness and yet we're ignoring. Sometimes it's like going through layers of an onion ring. Yeah. Each layer has its own enrichment to add, its own set of thoughts, values, beliefs, orientations, filters. And what I'm inviting you to do here is to realize that these layers of the onion ring are expressions of ourselves. The space around the onion and the space in between all of the fibers and in between all of the layers is who you really are. And so today we're going to focus on that space, bringing clarity and focus into the undefined. Because it's easy to get clear on something that isn't even useful for us when we're looking at a definition, a defined location, or something already in form. And that form will change when you bring your clarity and your focus into the space of all that is, that exists everywhere and is formless. So we're not going to get caught up in the how to do this, because all I can do is point into the space that is not defined. So the identity of who you think you are, a mother, a daughter, a sister, a brother, an uncle, an auntie, grandmother, a lawyer, a dentist, a healer, you're getting the idea. That's an identity, that's a layer of the onion. So inviting you to look at the identity or identities that you hold. And then bring your clarity and your focus into the space around even the concept of that identity. And even though it's formless, it has a felt sense, without obligation, without definition. Focusing and clarifying your awareness on the space. You see, space has no location. Only the defined form of our concept of ourselves has any sense of location. And it's our attachment to our location that sends us into an oscillation and into an experience of something that is not really us, even though we may be perceiving it to be so at that moment. So follow me gently here. These are just concepts, but allow the sense and feeling, the felt sense, body, being, feeling, to be more important than the concepts or thoughts. Bringing your clarity and your focus to the space, even in between the words that are being offered. As in when you clarify with your own focus into the space, into the formless, into the wholeness of all that is. There will be feedback. And each time you get feedback, be thankful for that. And clarify and focus the awareness of your vibration deeper into the space of all that is. Could be moments in this doing, being of this experience where your own personal location disappears just for a fragment. And then settle and sink again into the space of all that is. Bearing witness to the feedback, and yet being unattached to the feedback. So the feedback is the body sensate, the observation of movement, simply being unattached to that. And orientating your attention and therefore your focus and clarity back into the space inside and outside of you. and allow that to deepen, becoming clearer and more focused. The simplicity of this process, this game, if you like, is so profound, so profound, that I really invite you to give up and give in, needing to make sense of it. And then again, sink into the space. And as you do that, allowing a clarity to form, clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer. And more focused than ever before. Allow the breath to lead and guide you. And yet knowing that there's no need to be attached to the breath either. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Simply an observation. And then sink again. You notice that at the same time as you sink into the space, that you also, an equal and opposite experience occurs. We'll call it an expansion for now. As your awareness becomes undefined. You can do this with your eyes open, with your eyes closed. You can be this with your eyes open, with your eyes closed. You already are this, whether your eyes are open or whether your eyes are closed. Beautiful, clarified focus of an experience of your vibration. The mind is inviting at any level, or there's this to do, or this needs changing, or let's do this, or we should be doing that, or any of that kind of thing. Thank you. And notice the space from even where those thoughts came from or arrived to. If your body desires to move in response, allow the gentle movement to occur. And then rise into a deeper sense of clarity. Arising into a deeper sense of clarity. From the very base of your feet, allowing an arising of a deeper sense of clarity and focus. Allowing at this point here the concept of a very bright white light to be the space into which you clarify and focus. and blend and soften into the clarity. Blending and softening into the focus in a very precise way. Allowing the body being to reorganize into this focus and clarity of your own vibration. You may get feedback that is an unwinding sense. And as that occurs, observe it. And within that unwinding, bring your focus into, here we go, into the awakening clarity. And arise within that, arising within the awakening clarity. And as clarity becomes the space, I invite you to even let go of that word for a moment, just letting go of the word clarity. Removing the meaning. Very easy to do, just decide. And then sink into the void that becomes available. Take an elongated space within this. A new sense of clarity begins to form within. It's much broader than the levels and layers of, let's say, the onion ring, who we think we were. And light-hearted relief occurs. And respond, there we go, respond to the awakening of your own clarity, of your own vibration, in a beautiful, focused way. Focus in a different sense, probably already sensing that. Beautiful balance between inside and outside, upside and downside, above and below. Recognizing that you are the transition point. The longer you spend within this space, the more playful you can be with yourself. Not only in the play of the energy, but also the space of which the energy plays within. And also space that you observe the energy playing within. Level upon level of awareness opening, providing deeper senses of clarity to awaken within. And if you were to place a whisper into this space, lovely idea here is, and what now? And what now? And what now? So as a workshop today, it was immediate and straight in. And no matter how easy or uneasy that was for you, practice will open up more and more layers and more levels of awareness. Because all at the same time, there's a clarifying and teaching of the body being that is you. What it feels like at a felt sense level to experience and to witness. Your own awakening, which seems to continue. So thank you very much for joining me. This is a short workshop today, incredibly insightful into self. I highly recommend that you, after this, take a pen and a piece of paper, or jump on your computer if that's the way you like to do it, and set a timer for about 15 minutes and simply write. Write a letter to you. Whatever comes forward, whether it be a poem, an idea, a concept, a love letter. Words that attempt to describe your experience. A memoir. Or any clarities that form. And keep that same piece of paper by you for the next 7 days. Just adding to it after each practice of this beautiful work, which is your own exploration of you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. This is Karen Janelle Davis. And it's my pure pleasure to play in the realms of perhaps unseen but certainly felt exquisite magnificence of who we really are. Time after time, playing in the fields of the divine. Thank you.